O wenu hoche si gandie, wa se wenu hoye. O wenu hoche si gandie, wa se wenu hoye.
How Yogbo, the glutton, was tricked. A tale from Benin.
Once upon a time, there lived a girl named Alugba. She was a hard-working little girl with keen, bright eyes, a delight to her parents and relatives. No chore was too difficult for her. She never rested until her work was done. Alugba's favorite chore was to go to the forest to get firewood with other girls from neighboring villages. One day, she foolishly gathered too much firewood. She couldn't keep up with the others and was left behind. Darkness was descending upon the countryside. The load Alugba was carrying was heavy, the distance was long, and there was no one in sight. But Alugba didn't want to give up. She trudged on through the sunset with the load on her head, her body drenched in sweat. To keep up her spirits, she sang to herself. Soon, her throat was dry, and she was desperate for a few swallows of cool water. Looking around, she caught sight of a large baobab tree with a hole in its trunk. I hope there is water in the hole, Alugba thought, for I am dying of thirst. Throwing her burden to the ground, she rushed toward the tree, and to her joy and great relief, she found the hole filled with sparkling water. Alugba reached out and plunged her right hand into the hole to scoop up some of the cool water. But when she tried to withdraw her hand, it got stuck. She plunged her left hand into the hole to free her right hand, but it too got stuck. Helpless and handless, Alugba broke into tears, and her cries floated away on the still evening air. It was then that Yogbo, a trickster well known for gluttony, came from behind a clump of trees, grinning broadly. His trap had been successful. He gestured for Alugba to calm down. "Oh, what's the matter now, little girl?" he said in his oily voice. "Please help me," Alugba cried. "I was going to scoop up some water to drink, and now both my hands are stuck." Mumbling a few magic words, Yogbo pulled Alugba's hands free. But instead of letting her go, he brought a drum from behind the tree and forced her inside. For many days, while Alugba's parents and relatives and all the people in the village were looking for the missing girl, Yogbo went from one village to another, beating his drum. Whenever Yogbo reached a compound, he would beat his drum until people gathered round him, and he would ask, his voice full of excitement, "Do you want to hear a drum that sings like a human being?" And the people would say, "A drum that sings like a human being? Yes, let's hear it." "Bring a lot of food and a lot of palm wine," Yogbo the glutton would reply, "for you cannot hear my singing drum unless you pay for it." Once his demand was satisfied, Yogbo would set the drum on the ground in front of him and beat it for a brief moment, commanding, Drum, my singing drum, sing a song. And the drum would break into song. Ajaye seye, ae ae nunda jaye seye, undo home do yogbosi home, undo home. Aigbe humbo wetonvi, undo home, ozangbe kuku bosuntonvi, undo home do yogbosi home, undo home. Ajay my father, say my mother, I am inside Yogbo's drum. I sing at Yogbo's command. I am the one this song is coming from. Daybreak will not come, and yet the sun has risen. Nightfall hangs back, but the moon is on the horizon. I sing at Yogbo's command. I am the singer in the drum. It is your missing daughter this song is coming from. If Yogbo had had any common sense, he would never have let his captive sing that song, for she was singing for help. But Yogbo had no common sense. He only heard the call of hunger from his bottomless stomach, and wherever he went, people marveled at Yogbo's singing drum. Children followed him everywhere, and wherever he went, he got a lot of money and plenty of food. That was what he demanded in payment for making his drum sing. And Yogbo would not touch his drum until he had received his payment. Word of Alugba's disappearance spread, however, and then one day, without knowing it, Yogbo came to Alugba's village. Alugba's parents had heard about Yogbo and their daughter's song. They prepared with great forethought. Cunningly, they extended a warm welcome to the trickster and cooked delicious dishes for him. Roast beef seasoned with pepper, onion, garlic, and powdered shrimp. Pounded cassava served with goat meat sauce and many other special dishes. They also provided plenty of palm wine. Yogbo licked his lips as his hosts laid out the food before him. As they had expected, Yogbo ate gluttonously. He ate as though starved since the day he was born. He ate and drank until his stomach ached. Then he belched and fell asleep. This was the moment Alugba's parents had been waiting for. While Yogbo was snoring and dreaming of mountains of food and rivers of palm wine, Ajayi, Alugba's father, cut open Yogbo's drum and delivered his beloved daughter. Then he filled the drum with stones and patched it up. Seyi rejoiced at the recovery of her child. She gave her food and water and hid her in the bedroom. When Yogbo finally woke up, he took his drum and went on his way. He reached the next village and again demanded food and palm wine as the price for entertaining people with his singing drum, and his demand was satisfied. But when he laid his hands on the drum, commanding, "Drum, my singing drum, sing a song," there was a stony silence. Yogbo shook the drum desperately, for he knew he would have to say goodbye to the pleasures of gluttony unless he could make his drum sing. "Drum, my singing drum, sing a song," Yogbo commanded desperately. But what he got in answer was not a song, but the harsh sound of stones hitting stones. With the angry crowd at his heels, Yogbo fled in shame. And so it was that Yogbo the glutton, a man of incomparable greed and cunning, finally met his match.